Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome. We are here to do a ritual for the full moon in Pisces. Actually, it's a lunar eclipse, so it has extra juice to it. I always like the eclipse season because, especially with the North Node, it's going to our greatest and highest good. So I want to let everybody give a wave. I'll go through our list of people that are here that we're all going to work together. So Cerise, say hello, wave.
Hello.
Wendy.
Hey.
Morgan, Ruby, and Ron. So I'm very excited about this. I think we are going in through we're just entering into this very magical time. And to me, it started with that 0 degrees in Virgo, and now we're at 15 degrees of Pisces with the sun at 15 degrees of Virgo. So that's an extra oomphy degree, 0, 15, and 29. And the last eclipse and the new moon in Virgo, the second new moon in Virgo is at 29 degrees. So that'll be something that we'll look forward to in 2 weeks. So let's go ahead, as we always do, and get a clearing. And we will go to Wendy today for that clearing for everyone.
Oh boy. Okay. All right. So we are in the energy of the full moon of the lunar eclipse at 15 degrees Pisces. Pisces energy invites release, compassion, intuition, forgiveness, and spiritual closure. Its Virgo-Pisces axis highlights purification, boundaries, body energy hygiene, and service. Eclipse energy brings endings, culminations, truth revealed, karmic washing away, and quantum resets. Let's begin with some deep breaths. So inhale softly through the nose, hold, and exhale like a sigh. On each inhale, gather calm. On each exhale, release tension, stories, and timelines that are closing. Again, inhale, hold, exhale. Again, inhale through the nose, hold, and as you exhale, imagine moonlight pouring through your crown like silver rain rinsing the mind. Visualize standing at the shoreline under a crimson-tinted moon. Waves rise and fall with your breath. Whisper, I surrender what is not mine to carry. See a gentle current wash from behind you to ahead of you, carrying away residual cords, fog, and fatigue. If emotions arise, let the water hold them. You don't need to fix, only allow. Place attention at the soles of the feet. Imagine roots entering the earth's crystalline grid. Invite Virgo's precision to sweep your body. Feet, legs, hips, belly, chest, shoulders, arms, throat, jaw, eyes, crown. Say, I call my energy home. I seal my field in clarity and kindness. If you like, trace a luminous oval around your body, egg-shaped, resilient, breathable. Place your left hand over your heart, your right hand over your belly. Inhale and imagine your heart as a pearl floating in calm water. On the exhale, let old griefs, disappointments, guilt, or martyr patterns dissolve into the ocean as opalescent bubbles. Affirm, I forgive myself. I forgive others. I am free to choose new currents. Bring attention to the space between the brows. A silver blue moonbeam clears fog and fantasy, leaving luminous discernment. Whisper, I see with compassion and truth. Invite only timelines that honor your soul's service to remain. All others, gently release. From the crown, a column of lunar light extends upward to source. From your feet, roots anchor deeper to earth. Feel yourself as a living bridge, ocean in your veins, starlight in your cells. Breathe deeply in through the nose, hold, and push the air out through your mouth on your exhale. Breathe in. You're taking in love, abundance, protection, and healing energies. And with your exhale, release tension, fatigue. One last deep breath in. Hold. And release. And with that, I will hand it back over.
See, I did it. I actually muted my mic and then I forgot and started talking again, which is about par. I actually made it through the last live that we did, and I did it off screen where I muted myself, but I was still on board. So what I want to remind everyone right now is that we are going to be doing a burn today. And so you should have a paper and pen to write down what you are releasing with this full moon eclipse energy. And also, if you're going to be doing a burn, I recommend water, and it's nice to bring in a water element as part of this. If you cannot do a burn, that is fine. Ripping it is very satisfactory. I've done that before, ripping things up. And also, let's see. Oh, I have the candle. So if you have a candle that you can light with me as part of the ceremony, the nice thing about us all being together is that this is very quantum energy. And I know that when we are having people watch the recording, you are actually here with us at the time that we're doing this ritual. And it's very amazing. And surprisingly, we found out that to be true is that because it's quantum, there is no distance, there is no time. And we found that when we're doing readings, when we set an intention for the day the reading is supposed to be, and it comes up and it works magically. So trust in the fact that even though you may not be here on the live, you are actually with us in the quantum field as we go through all of this. So, and with me walking through these things, if you don't have everything with you, I highly recommend a pen and paper though. If anything, a pen and paper. I know in some people's cases that they can't do burns because they live in an apartment or something like that. So that's perfectly acceptable. Or if you want to wait to burn it outside somewhere, I did that in a park with Edward in London where we did a burn. So there's all kinds of things that you can do and you can make it your own. So I just want to touch briefly on the astrology because I think if anybody kind of follows astrology, it's been this energy has been out there and we've been talking about it. And the fact that it's at 15 degrees is a very extra strong point in anybody's chart. If you have anything at 15 degrees in your natal chart, that particular planet is going to be very loud for you. So the fact that this is with the collective, because it's an eclipse and everybody gets affected by eclipses, it's where we are learning collective lessons. And if you have something personal in your chart that is around With eclipses, it's 5 degrees either way. So from 10 degrees to 20 degrees of anything in Pisces or anything in Virgo, and I would include anything in Sagittarius and anything in Gemini, which is exciting for me because my ascendant is 1455. So it's like in Gemini, I'm getting this like, okay. And I have my Jupiter at 12 degrees of Pisces. So I'm getting extra juice with everything. So, and for me, I'm looking forward to it. I don't find this scary at all. There's going to be a lot of changes, and it's just a matter of us going through these changes. So I want you to be aware of that, because also it's a North Node eclipse, because that's where the North Node is with that moon in Pisces. It's where we're supposed to be going. It's what do you need to release so that you can move forward. And with the South Node in Virgo, that can also touch on what habits have we been carrying, what things have we made a part of our daily lives that really don't belong there anymore, and what do we want to bring in that's going to be more positive for us. Now, remember, we do have a new moon that's going to be at 29 degrees coming up. So that's a good time. We're basically cleaning house for the next 2 weeks before we start the new energy of I'm going forward and I'm going to be part of all this energy in the next 6 months in a positive way. And especially with Virgo, who can make a plan. I will say that I think plans will need to be adjusted. But Virgo is also a mutable sign. Virgo, Pisces, Gemini, Sagittarius, all mutable signs. We can deal with change. And that's why I think we as a collective will be able to deal with the change. We just need to take a look at what personally might be happening for us. And that would be at those degrees 10 through 20 of the signs that I just named. Those are all mutable signs. Everything else will be kind of talking very nicely to the eclipse. So Jupiter is actually part of a grand water trine that's happening. Jupiter is actually trine this full moon energy, and also in a trine with Black Moon Lilith and Hecate. Hecate is also at 15 degrees. So Hecate to me is very important in this ceremony today. And her symbolism will be showing up as we go forward. So I just wanted to bring that out. And with this, I really want to because I feel we are really pushing forward with the energy of spirit coming in. I wanted us also to really enjoy getting messages. So we're going to go to Morgan and Ruby and Ron, and they are going to pull cards for us. Just a message here and there for us to think about as we move forward in this energy. So go ahead, Morgan.
Thanks so much, Dawn. Hi, everyone. Okay, so I pulled a card from the Crystal Spirits Oracle deck. And the card that came out, the crystal that came out was, and I hope I'm saying this properly, but Iagrin. And I can type it in the chat later so you can see what the name of this crystal is. But it says here that this crystal represents integrity, solidarity, impeccability, reliability, and consistency. Although we are always evolving, we all possess deeply held values that we do not have to compromise. Your personal integrity matters. So if you're feeling pressured to say yes when your heart says no, or to be something you're not, listen to the message. Green Spirit brings you, now is a time to remember the importance of being reliable and impeccable with your word. If you really want to say no, don't say yes for now and try to correct your mistake later. People may struggle to accept your truth and your decisions, but stick to them. Be solid and consistent, because what matters to you deep down matters to the conscious universe who loves you. If you're feeling unsure, doubting whether you have a right to take a stand, become still and reconnect with the conscious universe through this crystal. It's not your job to protect everyone's feelings and keep the peace at all costs. You don't have to rush about smoothing everything over. Be at peace as you stand firm, for your deepest values are in sync with your purpose, and the conscious universe wants you to feel and be strong right now. So when I looked at this card, I saw that some of us will be standing tall and strong at this time. there are going to be a lot of disruptive surprises happening around. As you can see, there's kind of like lightning going on around this crystal. Okay, so it's just an opportunity for, because there's a lot of releasing going on. So there's a lot of changes and shifting going on. So just be true to yourself at this time. Also, I picked up, if you want to carry a protective crystal at this time, and wear your protective crystals to make sure and I have a clear quartz here as well. Make sure you're clearing your crystals at this time, and also to work with animal therapy. So get closer to your pets, bond a lot with your pets at this time, and that should help you kind of smooth out the energy, but you will be standing strong during these shifts and changes. So don't let it shake you or scare you. I hope that helps. And with that, I'm going to move on to, I'll pass it to Ruby.
Thank you so much. I just want to tell everybody again, we have no idea what cards are being pulled by each other, because my energy has in the underneath has the lightning card. So again, Morgan's talking about this. When for me it shows up in the underneath, it is about the 5D energy, what we don't necessarily see coming in, or it can be the subconscious where you can kind of feel the energy coming in. So with that, I have a very collective energy with the circle that's coming in here. This is from the Mystical Shaman Oracle. And so this is about unification, interconnectedness, and a sense of continuum is what this card implies. It reminds us that we are all one, dancers in a unified, continuous, inclusive circle. This card reminds us of the cycles of life and the evolving self, ever changing and always connected. Human, spirit, nature, the cosmos, all intrinsically connected. When this appears, it reminds you that you are connected to everything and everyone, including spirit. Spirit's essence beats in your heart and inspires you to co-create your world, knowing that you count, that you have purpose in this world. Imagine even a smile to a stranger can change the course of a life. When the circle invites you to dance in the sacred steps of life, know that your work, your love, your service brings greater value than you can even know. Stay the course, keep dancing, and all will be well. So you're meant to come to an understanding of the importance of decay and letting go, the importance of dying to an old form and being reborn anew. If you are faced with the challenge of loss or disappointment, remember this: in the circle of life, nothing is ever wasted. Love will seek itself again. Prosperity will come from a new idea or opportunity, and spirit always waits for you to find your place in the dance again. That's such a beautiful card, and it's so collective of all of us. And I just see all of these hands and how we're all navigating this together. So that's my message. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to the amazing Ron, who's going to pull a rune for us.
I'm glad to see everybody, and I pulled a rune just a few minutes ago for the collective, and I'm always excited to be in sync with the ladies. Okay, so the rune that came up is Dagaz, D-A-G-A-Z, and it means breakthrough or transformation. Okay, so I'll read for you what it says. It says, "Here is the final rune belonging to the cycle of initiation. Drawing this rune often signals a major shift or breakthrough in the process of self-change, a complete transformation in attitude, a 180-degree turn. For some, the transition is so radical that they are no longer able to live the ordinary life in the ordinary way. Because the timing is right, the outcome is assured, although not from the present vantage point, predictable. In each life, there comes at least one moment which, if recognized and seized, transforms the course of that life forever. Rely, therefore, on radical trust, even though the moment may call for you to leap empty-handed into the void. With this rune, your warrior nature reveals itself, and you're all spiritual warriors. If this rune is followed by the blank rune, which it was, I'm not pulling another one, the magnitude of the transformation might be so great as to portend a death, the successful conclusion to your passage. A major period of achievement and prosperity is often introduced by this rune. The darkness is behind you. Daylight has come. Nevertheless, you are reminded not to collapse yourself into the thoughts for the future or behave recklessly in your new situation. Considerable hard work can be involved in a time of transformation. Undertake to do it joyfully. And with that, I pass it back to Dawn. Unmute.
That's my next task. Yes. So, and what I'll do is, just for now, I'll have them all go backstage, and then we'll have them come back out. So I'll just do that so you can see what I'm as I go through things and what we're talking about. We are getting ready. Everybody ready? We're gonna start. So I will have you all go backstage. Ta-da, ta-da. Okay, we got them. Oops, sorry. That's what happens when I get too impatient and start clicking buttons, and Sari had it all going on. So wonderful. So we are going to get started, and I'm very excited. So what I'm going to do is we are going to start by lighting a candle. I actually just was possessed with finding just the right candle holder for myself today. And I wanted this because it reminds me of the ocean. And Pisces is about the deep ocean. So we are going to start by lighting the candle. And we're going to do this old school. I have matches. And again, you are part of this ceremony with me. So just as we're getting started, and I'll hold this up, we are calling in the energy of Archangel Michael for protection, Archangel Uriel for messages, and also the connection with Uranus that he has, Archangel Raphael for healing, and Archangel Sandalphon. And the reason I have a strong preference for Sandalphon is he's the angel of music and also communication and writing and just all this creativity that goes on. And I think that is something that we're stepping into as well. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to light the candle with that intention that we are all in a safe place. And we are all doing this for our greatest and highest good during this time. I'm throwing it in my little water that's right here. The other thing, let this get started a little bit. As I said, I picked this particular candle candle holder because it reminds me of the ocean. The other thing I wanted to do for everyone here today is I got this key when I was traveling, and I always do something whimsical. So this is the key to the Neuschwanstein castle, and the keys represent Hecate of all the doors that are locked for us. And to me, this is the key to the castle, right? This is what this symbolizes, what we can be moving forward and into, because things are opening up for us, and we're opening up locked doors. So this I'm actually going to be placing in my bowl of water as part of this symbology. I consider Hecate also, she's equated with anything she wants to be, because she got permission to have dominion over, not dominion, but nothing, there's no place that's closed to her. Let me put it that way. There's no place that's close to Hecate. Where the gods live, where the underworld is, the oceans, the air, all of that is hers to walk however she wishes. And especially as she's one of the goddesses of the moon, and I'm a Cancer sun, so the moon for me is very important, and the moon and the water and Hecate. I kind of wanted to blend those all together with this. So what I want to do, if you have not written your what you want to release, I want to cover a few things that I have written down to give you ideas, or just an emotional release that you want to go into. And I'll be brief with these, but this gives you an opportunity to maybe add things in that you weren't thinking of before. So one of the things with Pisces is the lower vibration is victim mentality. The higher vibration is that high spiritual connection that you have. So we're all in a range in between there. And if you're like me, I kind of go up and down with that range. It's just like, okay, every once in a while you have something happens and it's a why me moment. And then you stop and go, okay, is it really that bad? It's just something that I have to work through. And then you adapt and then you move forward. And I think we're going to get a lot of those moments in the future where we're going to see things happening on a collective level. And this is where we go into that carry water, chop wood energy. So one of the things I wrote down for myself personally is releasing fear of the unknown. And by that, I mean, what I need to release are things that I want to do in the future. And it's the fear of, how do I make that happen? How do I make those connections? That's, I think, part of what the quantum universe is going to be helping us with. And also to quit worrying about events that haven't even happened yet. It's all this energy goes on this thing is like, okay, I've got this big thing. I wonder how it's going to turn out. I'm really nervous about it. And to let go of that energy of things are going to go wrong. You are meant to move forward at your own rate of progress. And if you fail, and everybody fails, it is a lesson. It is something that you can take forward with you. So whether something is successful or not successful, there's always a lesson in it, and to be aware of that. Don't allow anger or control of your emotions. So release that. Release the fact that other people may have been using either fear, anger, or even guilt as a way to manipulate other people. So I have to realize I am also responsible for that, because I have to take that authority. So I need to release my fear of telling somebody else no, and changing what my journey is going to be. Also, because it's the Virgo Pisces axis, and a lot of what this lesson is for the collective and for those of us that have personal points and planets in those areas, what no longer is a daily thing in my life that I should be giving energy to? What is a bad habit that I may have that really isn't serving me, and I could be utilizing my time in a better way? I know I'm guilty of that. So what can I do to make the new habits that I want to form work for me? And you don't have to do this overnight. You don't have to do this overnight. It's a matter of changing a habit takes days. And we have not just days, weeks, months, basically a month. We have this opportunity to do that moving forward. So the other thing I wanted to, ordinary life in ordinary ways. And then when the pets came up, I had to jot that down, because I think that is one of the things that struck me is live your life like your pet does. You know, if it has water for the day, if it has food for the day, if it has love from you, it's a good day. It's a good day. Same with any of your pets. That's what they care about. They're not worried about tomorrow. We have energy coming up that's going to be sometimes feeling overwhelming for us. And I think that's what we need to remember. Am I drinking my water today? Am I eating food today? Am I getting love today? Those are your big three. Trust your journey. And what other things can you release that will allow that to happen? go to where your joy is. So those are the things that I wanted to talk about with what you can release with relationships, and on your own behalf, if you have been in something that's been very difficult for a long time, then release the resentment of how long you spent in that situation. Because you are starting a new journey and a new path, and you don't need to hang on to that anymore. There was a lesson there, and no matter how long it took to learn it, you've learned the lesson, and you're not there anymore. So walk away from that energy and release the resentment, because those are one of the things that are going to hold you back and block you from moving forward. So with that, I think we need to take a little journey for everyone. And what I'm going to do is I am going to bring up, I'm adding to stage. Oh, not that one. Remove that and add that. This happens to be a photo that Denise took of the moon on the ocean that she is on her vacation viewing. So to me, this was the perfect thing for us to have as we take our little mental journey going forward. So I want you to take your paper for right now and fold it up, because we're going to be placing it against our heart as we take this little mini journey. And it goes over your heart so that you can pour any of those emotional energies that you want to release into the paper. So that is what we're going to be doing. So let's take a nice deep breath in and close your eyes and release it. Again, breathe in. And on the top of that breath, just hold it for a moment and slowly release it out. One more. Deep breath in. Hold it at the top. And slowly release. With your eyes closed, I want you to picture yourself on the beach, where you can see this lovely moon in the distance. You're on a beach. It's actually warm enough outside that you can be barefoot, walking on the beach, the light sweatshirt on, moving forward. We want to bring in the elements of feeling the gentle waves, just barely touching our feet as we move forward. You can feel the coldness of the water compared to the sand. You can hear the water moving a little bit as it gently comes up onto the sand. The wind is very gentle, and you can feel just the touch of a breeze as you're walking forward. And in the distance, further ahead, you can see a cove, and in that cove there's this huge fire, that sacred fire that we all enjoy together. So we're moving forward towards that fire, and we start to see other people coming and making their way to that same cove. It's such a beautiful energy. As you get closer, you start to recognize people, be able to see others' faces. And in this community, you greet those you know and those who are new, and all are welcome. As we walk forward In conversation, we can hear little murmurs here and there. We start to form circles around this huge fire. And as we do, we see Hecate appearing. She is very proud to be here at this time of an eclipse. And as we look again at the moon, we can start to see that the shadow of the earth is starting to cross. That it's just slowly moving, tinting that glow of the moon with just what they call the blood red tint as the shadow is moving. And as we're standing around the fire, Hecate is joining all of us. This is a time where the eclipses will move us toward our own personal goals and destiny. That is the purpose of the eclipses and the purposes of the nodes. This is a collective lesson, and this is why it's important to be here together. There are things that we need to release to move forward on our journey, and we have written those down, and we hold those over our heart. We want to release the emotions of all of the things that we are releasing. Release the emotion, release the pain, release the loneliness, release all of that and pour it from your heart chakra into the paper. You do not need to hold this. It is no longer a part of you, and you can release this energy. As we pour this energy in, Hecate wants us to mentally send forward what's on our paper into the fire to be burned with all the release of others. Everyone will send in what they no longer are vibrating with. And as they do, we can see the fire rise up and purify and release and take away all of that which is no longer serving. The smoke rises and slowly disappears. And as we glance toward the moon, we can see that it's coming into its fullness of the eclipse. It has fully covered the earth from the earth's shadow. And it is a blood red moon. Changes are ahead. We've released what has been holding us back. And we can move forward. When we have released this energy, the key that is in the water is what door will now open for us that was closed before. This is the gift of Hecate, being able to unlock any door, any place. Nothing is withheld from us. I want you to slowly take 3 deep breaths as we're coming back in from this energy. I want you to breathe in. Hold your breath at the top and then slowly release. Again, breathe in. Hold at the top. Slowly release. And one more. Breathe in. Hold. And release. Now I want you to slowly open your eyes, and we are going to all do our burn or symbolic burn if you don't have anything to burn right now. So let me remove that picture, and I will ask Sari to add everybody else back in, because I get great pleasure in watching Sari do her burns and her tears and all of this energy. So we will add everybody else in. Like magic. So what I usually do with mine, and you may do it however you prefer, I actually like to rip it up just because it makes me feel better, makes me feel good. So you may do that, especially if you don't have any way to burn it. So let's just release this. I like the sound. I like the sound that it makes when it's tearing. Okay. So again, I want you to see this. I do have a key in the water. It's still been in the water. So yes, everybody will get their magical key to open doors. And now we can go ahead and light these. Ooh, look at this burn. It's actually burning over the bowl of water, and now it's getting out of hand. Okay, here we go. It's weird how when you put it in the fire on top of the water, the paper's still burning. So as you can see, it's magic, right? So if you want to complete this ceremony with me, I will say, I'm just going to give it another second or two to burn.
Donna, fun.
Yeah. Wait, isn't it like, it's my favorite part. It's my favorite part. What I want to say is we also have the opportunity over the next, I would say the next 2 weeks, because we are in an eclipse season and I don't want to hold anyone back from all of these things that are going to be happening. So I would say if you feel the need, if you find out, oh, you know, I can release that now, feel free to come back and watch the video and release those things and walk through that energy again to release that that is no longer serving you, because we're actually already we've already passed the starting line. We're on that journey, and anything that you can release along the way is only going to benefit you more. So we have done the burn. We have released those things. We know that we have that key that exists for us to move forward. And anything that you can further release before we have the other eclipse, I will say no matter what your intentions are, I always laugh because eclipses are like, you make your intentions and the universe does what it wants. You know, we make plans and God laughs. So I want you to be aware that the eclipses are always about moving you toward your greatest and highest good, whether you're ready or not. Because it's like, okay, time's wasting. So with this energy, I want to close this out. I want to put a circle of protection around everyone that is either watching live or in the recording, and even those that will never ever see this, that we are embracing our destiny as we move forward, because this is a big step that we're all taking, and Gaia is the leader of this little journey as well. So let's set that intention for ourselves, for safety and love, and being able to handle the energies that are out there, and create a safe space in your own personal life, in your home, where you can relax and download any of the things from the day, the energies of the day, and cleanse those off of you. So with that, I'm going to thank the angels for being here today. I'm going to thank Hecate for being here today. And we are going to close this ceremony off by blowing out our candle. And
Hey, Dawn, we did get a quick question from Jennifer. It says, I missed it. What do you do with the bowl of water?
I would say there's different things that you can do. You can go out and bury the water if you want to, like in a garden, and bring more earth energy into it. You can flush it. It's like, I'm done with that. To me, it's what ceremony you want to bring to it, or you're just done. That's the kind of energy I like. I've got Mars in my 11th house. I mean, Aries in my 11th house. Done. I don't have to give it any more energy than what I want to. If I want to bury it somewhere, if I want to dump it in a place like in a stream, although fish the paper out of it first and then throw that away, if you have any remnants of that. But I would say what you feel that you want to do to get rid of it. So thank you, everyone. It was such a joy to be with you all today. And we will be doing another ceremony in 2 weeks. The actual eclipse is tomorrow in the afternoon. And you can enjoy the full moon energies, this eclipse energies, actually for the next three days, really, because we're doing it the day before, and we will have a full moon this evening. And to enjoy the look of that, we won't get to see the actual eclipse, except what we just did now, because it happens during the day for us in the United States. So it's not something that we can see. So loved everyone being here. Please join us again. And please join us. We have our lives on Thursday. And we look forward to seeing all of you again. Have a lovely, lovely, lovely full moon. Bye.